What is up, everybody? I'm back. Back from the Motor City. Anyone who doesn't know, I worked all of last week in Detroit. Um, I left on Sunday. We had a meeting Sunday evening, and we had the hotel all the way through Saturday night. And even though everybody else was gone by Saturday afternoon, since we had the hotel, I stuck around and did some bike riding in Michigan on Sunday. So after that, went straight to my parents' house for to see all my nieces and nephews, and kind of my parents had like a end of the summer back to school party for all the kids. So yeah, been busy. Now I'm trying to get caught up on everything that I missed. Uh, got a bunch of studio work to do that build up while I was gone and stuff like that. But had a great trip. Detroit fascinates me. I'll have two or three videos about that experience. I guess maybe two and a half, because the first one that'll come out on Thursday is a mix between what I did on Sunday before I left and then Sunday when I got to Detroit. So, yeah. Anyways, how's everyone doing tonight? It's glad to be back chatting. I brought all this stuff to stream, like I said I would, and even that Thursday night when I had the chance to, because I didn't really go anywhere. I did a little bit of riding around where the hotel was, and when I got back to the room, I was just beat. I'm like, I could have thrown it all together and tried to get it to work, but um, there were days when we got done with work back to the hotel where I literally laid on the bed and fell asleep for an hour before I got up to try and do anything. So just, it was a great trip. I love the crew I worked with, and we had a blast. We had fun when we were working. We went out to good restaurants for lunch, and sometimes when we did dinner together and had good beers. But still, it's just tiring, when you, it's still tiring to run a camera all day long. And then, me, I want to explore and do other stuff in the evening. And so, yeah, anyways, it was awesome. You'll get to see all of it soon. I'll have, like I said, probably two and a half videos for this channel, and then I'll probably do a trip video that's non-cycling related for my Fitzwater Photography channel, like I usually do. Um, One of my goals is to get that going now that summer's kind of winding down, but we'll see. It's less important to me than running this channel, but I still do like to make other things that aren't cycling related, and that's my place to do it. Anyways, what's up, Large? What's up, Dimitri? Who asked if I was still in Detroit, but as I said, got back on Sunday. Reefer Rhodes, how you doing? He just said he saw us on. Me and Large were just on Denise Looking Out's latest episode. She did the Ohio to Erie Trail. Uh, I got home just in time to. She was premiering it. Catch a little glimpse of the part that actually me and Large were in, but I do want to go back and watch the whole thing. So I kind of, and I was getting this stream set up, so I didn't really have time to watch the premiere. I'll go back and watch it. But if anyone's interested, I'll drop a link. You should watch it, not because me and Large are in it. Just you should go check out Denise's channel, anyways. So, and Pudgy was saying, so this is kind of crazy. I mean, you talk about things, but so Denise reached out to me being like, "Hey, I'm going to be riding through your area on this Sunday if you happen to be free." So I had texted Ben. I went down and met her, and then Ben met us, and we got brunch and stuff, as you could see in her video. I didn't film anything that day. We were just hanging out. But then she was going to John Bryan State Park, and it happened to happen at the same time Cyclotherapy was doing one of their meetups at John Bryan State Park. And Pudgy and all that crew got to run into her and hang out, which was awesome. That was one of those, I was really hoping to uh, be there that day, and it would have been so funny to see her again then at a different situation. Denise is from Louisville, so it's not like she's from right here in Ohio. It's not like she's crazy far, but still pretty amazing that they all ran into each other down there. And you know how camping goes. They could have been camping at the same park at the same time and never even seen each other. But all of that on top of each other is pretty cool. So, see who else we got up in here. Jam Z, what's up? Rusty, how you doing? Rick, good to hear from you. Dylan, how's it going? Any good thick pizza in Detroit? I think I only ate pizza once in Detroit, and it's because when the host Joe and Wes, my friend, were taking off on Saturday. I brought my cards over to Wes's room so he could dump them all onto his drives. And he was like, "Oh, I have pizza from last night. I'm heading home. I won't eat it." So the only pizza I ate was some random pizza, and I don't even know what it was. And it was not thick. It was almost more just very typical New York style. Uh, yeah, I'm surprised. I don't think I ate pizza at all. No, didn't eat any Coney dogs either. We did stop and go to a shawarma place because if you don't know, Detroit has a huge Iraqi refugee and Middle Eastern immigrant population. So Jackie, the other host, was like, "We got to go get some good shawarma one day," and we did. It was delicious. Even though the other host, as he admittedly said himself, he eats like an 8-year-old. So we had to like drag him into this place, kicking and screaming. So he got like a regular sandwich, and he kept saying it was bad, and I'm like, "Come on, dude, you know it's not bad." But whatever. Everyone has different tastes. He doesn't, I have other friends like that too. He doesn't eat veggies on his sandwiches. So there you go. But thanks for the welcome back, Rick. How's it going, Patrick? Rusty said, anyone want to buy a steel Fargo frame set? Huh. All right. Pudgy said, Tim without facial hair looks like Paul Rudd if Paul Rudd aged. Funny, I shaved on the trip. So that beard, I had shaved into the mustache for when we did the Gap Trail and the CNO Trail, and then I just let the beard grow out. So like the first 4 days of in Detroit, I was getting so annoyed with getting food in my mustache that I rode my bike one night to a CVS, bought razors and shaving cream, and went back to the room and shaved. And this is already at I don't know, 9 o'clock. Well, it would have been that Thursday. So I think that's what I did instead of streaming. I laid there for a minute, watched some YouTube, and then I shaved. In the morning, everyone was so stunned, and two of the crew members I had never met before. Before this trip, so the only way they had ever pictured me is with a beard. So kind of funny, but that's how I am always about shaving. As you guys know, it looks like I usually have a beard. I have no plan. I just grow it, and then one day it annoys me, and I shave it off. So Dylan asked how Detroit is for cycling. Um, the core of the city is becoming good for cycling. The outskirts are still where we were staying. We were staying. I don't even think we were technically in the city limits, but because we were about 18 miles from downtown down the M10. But downtown has some great corridors for cycling, and even the roads that weren't cycling roads, I felt comfortable with the cars. But if you know Detroit at all, it has all the mile roads, the Eminem movie, but 5 mile, 6 mile, 7 mile, 8 mile, and those are all supercar boulevards, 4 lanes in either direction or 3 lanes in either direction with a divider in the middle. Horrible pedestrian situation. Still so overbuilt. All of those, even in the towns that radiate around Detroit, they should take out 1 lane and put in a turn lane and put in a bike lane. It would be so easy to do. Obviously, Detroit and a lot of the surrounding cities are still broke, so to change things is hard. But so Detroit, the city center, is pretty good for cycling. I must have ridden at least 30 miles in kind of the central city, and then we got all over. And certain parts of Detroit are so abandoned, to be honest, and certain streets that the Wahoo did a really good job of routing me down those streets, so they were very quiet. But yeah, you have these main thoroughfares like Woodward, which is this is my Woodward Dream Cruise shirt, but is the first paved road in the country, and it's the first road that people were doing a suburban commute from. The idea, of course, was that it would speed people into Detroit, and in fact, it sped people out of Detroit and was part of its demise, just like what's happening with cities or has happened with other cities that followed the Detroit model, like my city of Akron. But yeah, so it's a mixed bag, I would say. Detroit has a plan for cycling. If you guys know the channel you guys recommended to me, that Propel channel, I was just watching one of their videos today, and they had the 10 best affordable cycling cities in the U.S., and Detroit was, I think, number 8 on their list. But yeah, because if you go over towards some of the famous auto plants that are Urbex photographers break into and stuff, the Packard plant, the AMC plant, those are big abandoned buildings, and the neighborhoods around them are not doing very well either. A lot of it has been torn down, and yeah, you could ride your bike around there with no problem because the sad fact is there's just not a lot going on. But yeah, so hit or miss. I bet there's some, like I could not figure out a way to get from where we were staying my hotel to downtown without hitting roads that I would not ride on. And some of those they have painted a Shero on, and they're crazier than roads here in Akron or Cleveland. Like I literally would not consider riding my bike on them. And like I say on this channel, you guys know me. I've ridden my bike in Manhattan. I ride my bike in pretty much anywhere I want to, and there were streets that I would be like, no way. So yeah, real mixed bag. But it's getting like the core of the city is getting better, and I bet their plans are to expand that. Um, you know, as much as Detroit is a comeback city, it's still a shrinking city. You know, the flood of people leaving has turned to a trickle, but and they're not in bankruptcy anymore. But it doesn't mean there's all kinds of money to do all the things overnight. But so what? What else? I could talk about Detroit all day long. I find it absolutely fascinating. Um, uh, the whole arc of its story. But I do think it is the downtown comeback is amazing, and I know there's unfair stuff and injustices even with that, but still, the simple fact of the matter is they're building residential towers in downtown Detroit, and nobody would have believed you if you said that even a decade ago. They would have looked at you like you were crazy. You know, yeah. I mean, the skyscrapers back then, the office towers, there were, when I was there in '03, some of them had no windows. They were abandoned. I think some sold for like $1 million. Like, so yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, Dylan, that affordable cycling thing, didn't they put, they put Denver on the list. And when they said the run in Denver on that Propel video, no way. Like, I know what some people that I know personally have cashed out on having homes in Denver for like 15 years and selling them. Denver should not be on any affordable city list. There's no way. Um, right. Hey, what's up, Kelly? How's it going? I just spilled. I just switched to a full beer and did that classic where you're used to the one you were just drinking, and I spilled it all over myself. What's up, Alpine Daydream? Yeah, Dylan, when was the last? I'm so far behind on the comments, so you might have already said this, but I'd be curious when the last time you were in Detroit is. A lot of my, so I was there in '03 to see the Strokes, and it was downtown was a ghost town. Besides the theater and the couple restaurants around the Greektown Casino, absolute ghost town. Back in 2015, it had changed considerably, and it had changed a lot again to 2022 when I was just there for a week. I was there one other time in between there, but we popped in, me and Eric, who's a channel member and pops in here sometimes, and my buddy Josh, who passed away, to see Motorhead. And but that was like an in and out trip. We like literally like went out, got dinner, got a drink, saw Motorhead, and left. So I didn't really get to learn anything on that trip, except that Motorhead rules. And Lemmy died like 2 months later, so we're some of the last people to ever even get to see Motorhead. But hey, what's up, Jason? From New York City. New York City is probably my favorite city that I've been to in the world. So welcome, and thanks for watching the videos. Rusty talking about the prices. Yeah, Portland. They were talking about Portland like it's super affordable. Like, same thing. I have friends who lived in Portland who, my one friend Pat, who me and Large went and stayed with in Connecticut when we were credit card touring Connecticut last fall. Man, I didn't not believe their Portland numbers either. And like he even says in the video, he said he looked up stats. He hasn't been to all the places, but yeah, I don't believe Portland's that cheap either because my friends also cashed out on owning their homes in Detroit, like got way more than they had paid for them. And I find it really hard to consider Portland an affordable city. But hey, Sleepy Howler, thanks for welcoming me back. What's up, Big Nate Adventure? How you doing? Chris McCown's up in here. Oh, Rick asked what I was shooting, and he asked if it was porn. So I've done this Babcock's Media in Fairlawn, Ohio. They're an automotive. They used to do like automotive trade magazines. They still do, but they've realized that video is the future and trade magazines. They don't want to be the last one doing trade magazines, so they've moved way towards video. And one of my old friends actually leads the video department now, and uh, another one of my friends used to work there who jumps in on these chats sometimes. Pedal Stomper or Josh Trosh, depending on what name he jumps in under. He's also a videographer and photographer. Hooked me up with them originally, and so they do this series Auto Pros on the Road where they go to a bunch of mechanic shops in one city and kind of interview the shop, like shops that are special, not your typical run of the mill. And so we did. That's why I was in Louisville the one time, and that's why I was in Charlotte when I did the stream from Charlotte. So this was the third season. So that's what we were shooting. Cool in Detroit because we did a lot of history pieces, which if any of you who know me knows that's way up my alley. I find that stuff fascinating. Plus, it got us way more around actually Detroit. Like I said, to see the old AMC plant, the Packard plant. We got to film a Model A that ran. We went to Edsel Ford's house, which, if you're from the Akron area, looks a lot like Stan Hewitt. So, yeah, a lot of cool history. And Woodward Dream Cruise, where people just ride down Woodward or drive down Woodward in all their vintage cars. I think they said they were expecting 45,000 cars to show up to drive this. Yeah, we're seeing Lamborghinis, but then every muscle car you can imagine from the 60s. Just, as a videographer and photographer, I love old cars and cool cars. Like, as a cyclist, I just don't like new cars. So, anyways. Try and see if I could ever catch up on these comments. I'm in a rambling mood tonight. Like I said, Detroit fascinates me, and once I start talking about it, it's hard to stop talking about it for me. It's been wild. It's wild. It's wild even seeing the places right outside of some of the places that are prospering or still very depressed or have been all torn down. Speaking of Detroit, one of the guys I was with this too. He was a younger member of the video crew and newer with the company. He brought some film cameras and he was shooting with a Pentax K1000 just as like a hobby. It made me jealous that I didn't bring any film cameras. I know you hate film now, Rick, but so he actually just texted a link to the film photos he took. So I'll be interested to see those. But I, like I was saying, I was like, Detroit is the rune porn capital of the world. There's no denying that, right? Hey, what's up? Dirty River Bicycle Works, Otis. Oh, Large. Yeah, Large was just on vacation too, and I haven't seen him in person yet. Well, I actually had to drive to I was picking up the Gravel Badass shirts, which I haven't listed them yet, but I was driving back from there and I actually passed Large Marge where he was on his bike, just tapped the horn a couple times, but haven't seen him in person, but he was on vacation. So he said coastal North Carolina had some shit roads. I believe that. Any coastal vacation I've been on, usually no shoulders. Yeah, it's usually tough to get around. There'll usually be some little bike paths, but they don't go very far. So, yeah, I'll be interested to hear your experience when we get a chat in person. Rick asked if electric cars will save Detroit. I don't think they're building most of the electric electric cars in Detroit. I don't even think they're building the electric F-150 in Detroit, to be honest. So, what's up, Blackball? What's up, Jay Dandy? No center parent wards. That would be underwater. BP, then a series of number asked, how's the sciatica progressing? I think last week was kind of hard on it. I used an Easy Rig. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like a backpack that hangs the camera in front of you. Works really well with the Canon R5, which has internal stabilization. So it gives you that like great, it just works really well together. Very stable footage without a tripod. But yeah, so I think all that hooking up the camera and bending over, I was still popping Advil and stuff like that to get through the days. I felt like I was getting a little better when I got home. And then this afternoon, before I went for my bike ride, I was finishing up some work here, actually working on the next video I'm putting out. Um, just I went into really bad sciatica pain again, and I had to take some Advil, and I laid on the couch pretty much until it kicked in. Kind of rocked on the couch till it kicked in. So, not progressing so well, to be honest. Utica is the most affordable city in the East. Hey, what's up, traveling through? Coming to us from the Great Divide somewhere. I haven't caught up on. Well, I think I've only missed one. I think I caught one of your videos on the Great Divide while I was hanging out at the hotel in Detroit. But good you're able to jump in. You have an internet connection and everything. So, Motorhead for life. Yeah, and anyone on here who puts out videos, I didn't most of the time I was watching it on the hotel TV, so I like one of my goals this week is to go back and drop comments on the videos I watched. But anyways, oh, Big Nate, you saw the Strokes in '03 as well. Nice. Yeah, we went to Detroit. They skipped Cleveland on their second tour, so me and my girlfriend at the time went up there. I was actually shooting a film camera. Well, it was 2003. Yeah, it wasn't even a serious hobbyist photographer at the time. So yeah, it was all film. Got pictures of in front of Motown or the museum, and hanging out on some. I've gone back every time I've gone to Detroit to see some of the buildings I photographed, to see how they've changed over the years. And there's like this year was even more exceptional because there's been infill construction in the neighborhoods I've been photographing. Raymond, what's up? He said, anyone watching the Volta? Today was the first day I got to actually watch a stage because I finally got back. Sunday I was still riding. You know, the other 2 days I was getting up early and working, and then yesterday was the transfer and the rest day. So, yeah, I started watching the Volta today, but Roglic will be hard to beat. But another thing is Roglic can also crash out like he does all the time. So he seems just to never crash out of the Volta, though. I think isn't he going on 3 in a row already? So. Rusty said Portland is more affordable than Denver. I believe that for sure. Um, Denver is Denver's insane, right? Denver's like San Francisco now, right? It's like not affordable for anyone with like a normal job. You have to commute all the way into the city. That's what Rusty was saying about, Denver, 1860 or something. I can assure you that that's a small one bedroom on the outskirts of town. Yeah, I would agree. So, what's up, Nathan Mace? Patrick said he had friends who lived in Portland and moved to Tucson to escape the cost of living. Yeah. Oh, Rusty, you said Portland is not cheap, but it's hella cheap for a large West Coast city. All right. Yeah, I don't. I mean, even God, what 10 years ago when my buddy Wes was living in Long Beach, and I remember him showing me what he was paying, and his apartment was like it looked like a shower in what is the size of a shower in Akron, Ohio? But yeah. Rick said, if you know anybody near Philly that needs photography, let you know you just lost a big client. Sorry to hear that, Rick. It's a bummer. I know how it goes. It just shooting for nonprofits a lot of times when there's turnover at the staff. The new person comes in, they start using their person, and then I lose that account, and I know how that goes. So. Traveling through said everybody is spilling into Colorado Springs. Yeah. Rusty said Tucson is very affordable for a big city in the West, and it's amazing. Yeah, long as you guys don't run out of water, right? And traveling through, you said Portland is still way cool. I always think you have to look at things in two ways, and the one way is hard to know unless you know a number of people who are there because everyone's experiences are different. But like, there's a lot of places I go that I'm like, I loved visiting this place and it was a blast, and then you hear from people what it's actually like to live there. So that's one thing I always try and keep in mind when I go somewhere and I love it. I think that a lot about New York City because I absolutely love New York City. But then I think like if I had moved there before I got heavy back into cycling, how much of a toll would that have taken on me as someone who likes to walk, doesn't like traffic, doesn't like loud noises over time, stuff like that. I think now as a cyclist and realizing, 10-mile, depending on where you're staying in New York, 10-mile ride, you could be almost out of the city and up the Hudson and camping and stuff like that, from watching Terry B's videos and stuff like, I feel like I could survive New York better as a cyclist than I could have when I was younger when I really thought I wanted to move there. But, hard to say. I've lived in Northeast Ohio my entire life. What's up, mountain biker boy, with the check-in? Reefer Road said next Portland is Akron. You know, like I always say, we barely have natural disasters here. The cost of living is cheap. We have all the fresh water, what that you could ever imagine. It's going to become a desirable place at some point, right? Uh, Speaking of that, I have a video coming out. I think I'm going to list it for members. It's already uploaded. It just hasn't fit in my pattern of what I want to put out yet. But so I just need to get the thumbnail and description together before I do it, but I'm going to share it for members. But I did it in the style of Gravel Badass, and it's my buddy Kyle, who heads Knight Foundation and the city of Akron's planning director, riding through downtown Akron, kind of talking about the bike infrastructure and other things that are going on. It obviously is kind of a local interest piece, but I think other people will find it interesting. We'll find out. So I think it's a cool video, but what's Otis up to? Dirty River is Otis, by the way. Just trying to seal up old cross tubulars. Not going well. Latex only ages so well, huh? Rick said he thinks Easy Rig was designed by a guy with back issues. It's funny because the nice thing about the Easy Rig, Rick, so for those of you who might have just joined, is, like I said, it's a backpack that kind of cantilevers the camera over your head. Um, some days it felt really good because I could really tighten it up, and it's kind of like that, why people wear like those compression belts and stuff like that or back belts. So it felt really good. But then sometimes after a long day or middle of the day, say Advil was running out, I felt like I wanted to pull my camera off. I was shooting a lot of slow-mo B-roll, and between the in-body image stabilization and lens stabilization in the R5 at 100, and that shoots 120 frames per second, I can do that handheld really well. And I had my camera rigged out, so I had a cage built around it with a handle on top. So when I felt like I didn't want anything on me, I could kind of switch to B-roll and do that kind of stuff. And I used a monopod a little bit too for some of the stuff. I actually found I think I was more uncomfortable with the monopod because you kind of tend to lean forward, and then depending on where your eye level is and stuff like that, whatever. Oh, Kelly said it's very disappointing cycling in the Outer Banks, but awesome biking on the beach and coastal woods. Yeah, I haven't ridden in the Outer Banks, but I've been to places where did we go last time? On the East Coast, the last time I did a family vacation, I took a bike. It wasn't that long. It was like right when I was getting back into cycling, so 2015 maybe. But it was outside Charleston, South Carolina. It was one of like Isle of Palms. But same thing. It was like the roads right by like where all the houses you rent and stuff like that are like narrow and people drive too fast. But I did find a way like to get away from it all a little bit and go through the intercoastal and over a couple bridges with shoulders. But yeah, I don't. East Coast beach towns are usually not very good for cycling. It makes sense though that to fat bike on a beach would be great. I had my mountain bike with me, but I don't think the beaches were conducive to cycling. You know, like Hilton Head, you could ride a bike really easily because it's that big broad beach, and it's very like hard packed. The sand almost has like a hard packness to it. Um, Also, you don't want to ride your bike and get salt water on it because that'll rust the hell of it like that. But 69 mega should be a bike model. Yeah. Why are we getting just attacked by one troll tonight? One porn spam ad. But 69 mega ATB. Yeah, I like that. What was the other? There's another. Dimitri said he watched a YouTube video on a race in the UK, 1,240 miles. Huh. Would that be the? Because there's Lachlan Morton on EF, that's all the way from the top to the bottom. Uh, what is the name of that race? Grinduro. Oh, Pudgy just said it. Grinduro, maybe. Oh, Pan Celtic race. Not familiar with that one, Dimitri. Oh, traveling through. Oh, I missed where you're at. So, traveling through is in Canyon City. It's your day off. You've done 1630 miles in 24 days. Nice. 1,000 left to Mexico. Congratulations, man. I hope it. Hope things keep going smooth for you. Or if they, I hope things go smooth for you if they haven't been. Like I said, I'm behind on behind on the uploads. Haven't been gone, but Nathan, you can't read. Yeah, I'm glad. It seems like there's a good reaction to the gravel badass videos, and Aaron explained this when we did a premiere for the first one. That like gravel badass isn't supposed to mean like you're a badass at riding gravel. It's for her like something that like when she said like the line "I want to be a gravel badass," it was about she wanted to do something that she hadn't really tried to do before, and like kind of overcome a fear of like riding off road. So the whole GBA gravel badass like thing is a mentality for us that the concept is overcoming something. And so if you've noticed, that's kind of the theme of all the interviews and the people we've talked to so far is like getting out there and doing it and riding your bike. So I'm excited for the next. So we got 3 out. I've got one more ready to go for next week, and then we're recording the 5th one on Thursday and the 6th one next week. So I'll still be able to get one out a week. And then, yeah, Micah designed that awesome logo. I've got the shirts upstairs. Like I said, I've picked them up all the way from extra small to double XL. They weren't able to get a triple, unfortunately. So it's just the company we used didn't have it. So, but yeah, all sizes. Have them on the website soon. I'm getting stickers printed this week. So if anyone's interested, I think I'm going to do 2 sizes. So there's like a small top tube one and then a slightly bigger one, so you could see Micah's design a little better. I think I'll just sell them together for like $2, but or buy a shirt and I'll throw them in there for free, you know. Yeah, Minneapolis. I think Dylan. I think on that Propel video, didn't they rank Minneapolis number 1 as the affordable bike city? I think they have more bike miles of bike infrastructure in the city than almost anyone else. That the thing about Minneapolis is they're winners, right? So you have, but not like our winters are that great. But then again, since we have a lot of friends who of the channel who live there, I do see the temperatures they post, and they are considerably colder than even Akron and Cleveland on most winter days. So Nathan said B-roll is when you carry the camera. I thought you meant low budget. No, B-roll is so when you're interviewing someone, I'm Canadian now. When you're interviewing someone and you're showing footage instead of the interviewee, but you're still hearing their voice, that's B-roll. So whenever there's like, say I'm narrating a video, then the footage becomes B-roll basically. So A-roll right now is me, my talking head. If I was cutting video over this, like when I make a bike packing video and I'm showing our bikes go down the trail, that's B-roll. So when I say B-roll, like there were a lot of times where there were 3 crew members filming an interview, so they had 3 different angles to cut from. When they cut to like a picture of that guy actually working on a car, that's the B-roll. So yeah. Yeah, Pudgy, you said Hilton Head is covered in bike pass. Yeah, but they don't like let you into each of the like parishes, or they didn't used to. So like Hilton Head is all like divided up between its different sections, and there's like some have like people like preventing you from going in there. So it was weird. But then again, I haven't been there in a long time now. I can't even remember. Last time I went to Hilton Head, I brought the same mountain bike. That's my winter bike that I also brought to. I've had it for so long, but yeah, probably wasn't even that old last time I brought it to Hilton Head. But I stopped. I drove alone and I stopped on my way home, and actually did real mountain biking on that bike. I'm thinking out loud. It just reminded me of that. Sorry. Rick said, Tim, check out Red Rock Micro Captain Stubbling DSLR handles. Let me copy and paste that so I have a tab open for that. And maybe I'll get caught up on comments and jump over to it. Oh, I've seen their stuff, Rick. I was using the stuff I've used to rig out my R5 ZZ Rig, which is another good brand that has fairly affordable stuff for rigging out cameras that are like, you know, mirrorless DSL style cameras to make them more like video cameras. Oh, Ron Stuff, what's up? He said, I'm Hilton Head bound next week. Great riding at low tide. Yeah, the beach becomes. I mean, I think even like, when people talk about beach cruisers, I mean, you could ride almost anything on Hilton Head on the beach when the tide's out. He said, build a sacrificial rust bike. Chains will be sacrificed. Nice. I think that's the way to go. I mean, I would not want to ride my Raleigh or my like nice gravel bike on the beach at Hilton Head, but yeah, it would be great to take a vintage frame and build something up with slightly wide enough tires. So, Rusty, I appreciate your optimism putting Akron in the list with Minneapolis and Grand Rapids and Milwaukee. I liked Milwaukee. I went to Milwaukee to see Jenny Lewis in, what was that, 2016? And at the time I was in Milwaukee, I hadn't seen bike infrastructure anywhere as well as they had it. I felt like Milwaukee had tons of great bike infrastructure, so I was definitely impressed. And that was now 6 years ago. So yeah, I think I had, I don't. Do you guys know? There's the coast to coast gravel route in Michigan. There's also a Route One, like Ohio has the Ohio to Erie. That I wrote when I wrote on some bike trails on Sunday. I found out about this, but there's a Great Lakes route that's from lake to lake, and so I was kind of looking at that as possibly maybe next year our trip. It's 275 miles, so we would add some miles to it. Maybe we'd be able to mix in some of the gravel. Like I said, this is very preliminary. I haven't looked at where those two routes, how close they are, and all that. But Amtrak also runs fairly well through Michigan. So it seems like there's a Amtrak station in Grand Rapids itself. So I was thinking there might be a cool way to make that into a bike tour with being able to go one way and take Amtrak the other way. So, but I've never been to Grand Rapids myself. In Michigan, I've been to Ann Arbor and spent decent amount of time in Ann Arbor, and Detroit multiple times, as I said, and then just a couple small cities on the way in and out. And then I was there when I was very young, uh, on Huron, but I don't even, I just remember like the docks and like that kind of blurry kid memory stuff. So Rick said Gravel Badass is about the feelings, man. The feelings. Yeah, there's been a lot of feelings in Gravel Badass. Oh, Pudgy, were you asking if Gravel Badass was born at Nutmeg? No, it was a little bit, but I think it was the summer before. Because even the footage of her saying that, like, that I'm using for the intro to the Gravel Badass series is before Nutmeg. But she yelled at riding on gravel once. She was like, I'm a Gravel Badass. So Dirty River said Key West was awesome for cruiser bikes. Nice neighborhood cut throughs all over. Yeah, but you can't ride a lot on Key West, right? Because it's pretty small overall. I I went I went to Key West in '07, and I was not riding. I just walked around the island. I had driven there. I was camping on the. I guess it's not technically Key West, whatever that little their campgrounds right on the outskirts. So I don't. Yeah, for me to claim anything about Key West would be kind of dumb. I went to a couple bars, walked around, saw it a little bit for like a day and a half. But B roll of the B-hole. Well, Rick said I thought B roll stood because I effed up the A roll. Well, one thing that I find really annoying about YouTube now is like, to me, like when I see full time YouTubers, they do jump cuts. So like when you watch Pathless Pedaled, he like cuts out all the gaps and all the mistakes he makes, and then he just cuts to himself. So that's a jump cut. So he's talking, and then it's just like and it's like acceptable in YouTube land for some reason. It was never acceptable. Like you'll never see 60 Minutes do that. You'll never watch a documentary where there's jump cuts, but YouTubers do it. Peter McKinnon, I think if you know him, kind of is the face of the jump cut. But like Pathless Pedaled, he's full time now, and he's like working on a bike or doing a bike review. Use the B-roll to cover the cut. Like that's the point of it. Like why would you do a jump cut when you have a bunch of B-roll? Like you're right, Rick. I effed up. That's what the B-roll's for. But it also makes the video more entertaining. Like if you guys noticed when I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I mean it is part of what I do for a living, but it just looks better. Like it's not so jarring. Like Pathless Pedaled's videos sometimes annoy the hell out of me from those horrible cuts he puts in there. And it's like, you're full time, like put a little time into the edit, man. Like, sorry. But yeah, like I what I learned from 5 years of uh, bike touring. Like, I didn't say that whole thing in one take without messing up. I messed up 1,000 times, and then like whatever I was talking about when I messed up, I just showed footage of it. Like cover up the cut. Like that's how you make decent videos. It's not that hard. I mean, it's a little bit time consuming, but when you're editing, you could see where you've cut together two pieces, and then you put the clip of what's going on over that cut. Like, I don't understand why Pathless Pedal doesn't do that. I don't get it. Like, to me, it's lazy editing, especially for a full-time YouTuber. He's full-time. Like, for me, it's time consuming because I'm doing this as a hobby, but whatever. Small rig, Rick, you're right. Yep. Oh, Ron said in Hilton Head, you sneak into the parishes from the beach and act like you belong. Got it. Yeah, and Rusty and Dylan, you guys were saying, like, when I was talking about Minneapolis, if a city plows in the winter, it's fine. I still have a cold threshold, and there's some times where I don't feel like going out. They were showing lots of single digits in Minneapolis last winter. So if you're just commuting, yeah, single digits might not be the end of the world if you're doing a mile or 2 mile commute, but like to go out for 20 miles in the single digits, after 10 miles, I end up cold. I've done it. I end up cold no matter what I put on. So Pudgy said a titanium bike won't rust. Titanium bike won't rust, but all the components around that titanium will rust. Jay Dandy, all the geography talk tonight is making you think of something. Aluminum won't rust, but aluminum corrodes, right? I need to catch up on the comments. All right, I'm not going to ramble. Dirty River. Akron is the next Canton. No, Canton's the next Akron. Kelly, don't. Excuse me. Say it, don't spray it, right? Now, Rusty, I get what you're saying about the difference between Canada and Finland is huge, that Finland does take care of their infrastructure, for sure. Yeah, Miami is the next Atlantis. The Great Lakes are going to shrink, but we'll still have plenty of water. Like Akron's not going underwater by any stretch of the imagination. Mountain Biker Boy said Michigan has got to be the greatest microbrewery state in the world. From looking at different places in Michigan on the map and talking about different things, I could see that. And I went to a number of great ones, even in the Detroit area. So. Rick, I think that I would need to find it. So, Rick, you said you need footage of Aaron yelling, "I'm a GBA, gravel badass." I think I actually have it in a video. I would have to remember which video it is and find that piece of footage. So, Rick, I know you're lying about the jump cut thing. They're fucking horrible. Sorry, it's not 10 o'clock yet. If that, 10 to 10. But yeah, Dylan says, I never understood the PLP cuts. And for the record, if you guys don't know, Dylan is a video editor. It's like literally what he does for a living. He doesn't throw any transitions like constant power, the blend, the audio. Yeah. I think he is hammering it out. I think he really is. I think he's sitting there and he's like, this is what I say and it doesn't matter. And I'm going to just cut it together to make it keep moving. When you watch like jump cuts of someone who's like really good at it, like Peter McKinnon, I notice them because I also edit videos, but they're not very jarring, like, or even like really good, like another really good video maker like Gerald Undone. If you guys ever watch him, probably not photography nerd, videography nerd stuff, but like the people who are doing really high end YouTube channels that use jump cuts, they have learned their pacing, and the jump cuts aren't as jarring. They're super jarring in Pathless Pedaled. He hasn't learned when to like have the right yeah, it's just they're really jarring. I can't stand them. So yeah, I know he's just trying to pump out the videos, but it's like, man, I really think like in that last video where he's showing the Shimano, whatever the derailleur that shifts in the opposite direction is, he already is dropping in B-roll. Drop it over the cuts. Just drop it over the cuts. If you don't know how to do a good jump cut, drop B-roll over the cuts. So I don't. That's why I B-roll the cuts. So anyways, sorry. I could go on and on about that. Like literally, yeah. It's what my clients would not accept that kind of work, you know. So why would I put that kind of work out myself when I'm making a video for me? So I have to do some lazy things to keep up on YouTube, like I said, as it's a hobby, but there's no excuse for a full-timer. And Pathless Pedaled said he was a professional photographer, so he should also have an eye for that stuff. Anyways. Sorry. Rick, who uses jump cuts. Yeah, Reefer Roads, you said 99% of your videos are B-roll? Yeah, right? But seriously, the way you cut your videos, it is mostly And like same with mine. Like it's only been like um, more in the last year that I've done more talking head videos that I'm cutting B-roll over. I've always done them here and there, but I was making, like I always said, like 90s skate videos basically out of cycling. So pretty much all B-roll, right? Hey, what's up, Muskrat? You were saying you like the Gravel Badass series, the steady camera work over the rough gravel, along with the smooth audio. Yeah, the audio is key. Like I, that's the whole point behind it. Like not the whole, not the point, but from like my technical standpoint, the Gravel Badass series, like the audio had to be on point, and those Rode Wireless Go's do such a good job. I've said this a million times. People will watch average video, you know, if you want to make videos, you can make it with this. They'll look good. They'll look good enough. They won't listen to bad audio. Bad audio is super annoying to the human ear and hard to get past. So that was one of the big keys about it. So Eric said Crowbot is the next Kinks. So Eric, who I was referenced earlier, that's what when I was in Detroit the last time before this, me and Eric went to see Motorhead, but the opening band was Crowbot, who we've never heard of, and that name is ridiculous. And I don't think we even got to really see them, right, Eric? Because we were in line, and weren't they like their set pretty much over by the time we walked in? So, oh, BP, you're that's right. So we have chat. You're from McKeesport, which yes, McKeesport was a sad place. Like I said, we were going to get food in McKeesport, and we were like, man, there ain't anything. There isn't anything we're stopping at here. I have never been to Kalamazoo though, so I didn't know Kalamazoo had a was like in rough shape. That's interesting to know. Yeah, isn't Asheville, North Carolina, just like all like craft breweries? Is all that's there? Black Ball. Hey, what's up, Kevin? How's it going, Eric? I saw your message about the Browns game, by the way. Um, when I well, 54 minutes ago already. Wow, must have been right when I was starting this up. Don't think I'll get up there for the Browns game on Saturday. I'd probably head up towards the evening. Um, we need to. I need to call you later and call you tomorrow, maybe, Eric, if you're still listening. BP, you said you know you're going to get expelled from this site, but you don't like microbreweries or IPAs. Hey, there's people who watch the channel that don't even drink. It's totally fine. Uh, the whole thing is you don't have to like microbreweries or IPAs. If you drink beer, though, most microbreweries will have some simple lager or pilsner. One of my things is most corporate breweries are absolute garbage corporations who are as bad as the companies that make garbage products. So you could support a small business and still get like a light beer. Oh, Rapid Rise, right, Pudgy. That's the Shimano derailleur I was trying to name, the Rapid Rise derailleur. Nathan Mace, maybe PLP is doing a shitty job, so we talk about it on the Fitz channel. Yeah, Eric either. My buddy Eric, who's chatting, he's not big on craft brews. He'll take a, still take a PBR or something, something light. So, Patrick, Tim, Russ is right behind you. I would feel, I would, I wouldn't feel bad if he was watching this. I know he's not, but it's like, no, just take the effort to just. He does like the really good lighting. Like when Russ is standing there talking, like with the party pace sign, like he's set up like a really good set. He understands lighting. He gets it. It's just like, why the jump cuts? You don't need a jump cut. As Dylan just said, drop the B-roll over that S. You know. Rapid rise is what happens to Jay Dandy when you pull up a map. Oh yeah, BP Dogfish Head is huge, but they're still owned by one guy. Sam still owns Dogfish Head, so it's still not a Budweiser isn't even an American company. It's owned by a multinational corporation. Like they've who have literally done everything they can to cheapen that beer as much as possible, and cheapen the people who work there. Like you know, Anheuser Busch, even though they were huge guys, actually really treated their employees well for a long time. It's when they got bought out by InBev. InBev has squeezed every last nickel out of those brands, and that is not a good company. So, like, there's clear beer you could drink. I mean, there's nothing wrong, and I drink clear beer. I mean, I'll drink cheap beer at it, but I'm gonna get Pabst, owned by an investment firm. They're not brewed in Milwaukee anymore, but they're not InBev. They're not, or whatever the name of that company is now. So, same with Sam Adams. Sam Adams is gigantic. They have multiple breweries. They have a brewery here in Ohio, but they're still like not shitty people, so, I mean, they're brewing on the scale of, almost on the scale of the big brands. So, but they put a lot of money back into their communities and stuff like that. And the money also isn't going to just, you know, some giant corporate structure. Don't get me on these rants. It's too early for this. By the way, BP, so if you don't know the whole VGNO thing and uh, like the whole like kind of some of the stuff, the Blue Moon thing, all that starts because Dogfish Head's original brewery was a little tap room that was in Rehoboth Beach, and that's where a lot of the early stories from this live stream come from. So. Did I lose a bunch of viewers since I went on a rant about Pathless? I watch every video Pathless Pedal. I like Russ. I buy his swag. I watch every video he puts out. I just wish he didn't put jump cuts in his videos. That's just a stylistic thing. So, really, Rusty? I did not know that, and I'm surprised I didn't know that. So Rusty said Sam does not own Dogfish Head. Sam Adams bought them out in 2019. I had I am I'm really surprised to know that. I did not. Yeah. But again, Sam Adams is still a I think Sam Adams is employee owned now, right? I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Could I work jump cuts into the live stream? uh, BP, you said your mom was from Akron, Ohio, and you have cousins that you never met, and all the kids are in and out of jail. Huh? Yeah, most of this channel's videos take place in Akron, Ohio. I mean, it's a Rust Belt city like any other. It's mixed. You know, did I not put up the VGNO story yet, Pudgy? You're right. I want to do like a command so like I don't have to explain the VGNO story every time that it comes up for new people. I need to do that for next week. Like I said, had a lot of things I wanted to get done for the stream, but just getting back on Sunday, it didn't happen. Yeah, virtual guys night out is what VGNO stands for, but there is a funny story behind it. Well, BP, I'm glad to open your eyes that there's a lot of smart people in Akron. So, as you know, all the Gravel Badass series are Akronites riding through Akron. So, yeah, and Rusty, you're right. Sam Adams is enormous compared to most craft breweries except Sierra Nevada. I think Great Lakes here in Cleveland like is top 20 craft brew. So, I've never tried a Utopia from Sam Adams. I think my dad got to try it somewhere, actually. BP. I think he was at something where everyone pour out a tiny bit, if I remember correctly. That totally wouldn't be his thing, but yeah, Patrick. So Sam Adams and um, the owner has worked in the Craft Brewing Association to change the definition of craft breweries because they're so big, um, to being more about being independently owned than the size. So yeah, the definition of by the Craft Brew Association, Sam Adams would not technically be a craft brewer if it wasn't for themselves helping to change the rules. But again, to me, the size is not the issue. It's the way you do business. There are some craft brewers that have become horrible, you know. So, and there's some they've kicked out for their practices, you know. Reefer, you said you're just hoping that legalization doesn't do to stoners what craft brewing has done to drunks. Well, coming back from Michigan, it's funny because all like so many people on Instagram messaging me like, bring back some edibles and all that stuff. And I was like, if I come across like one of the places, the billboards are everywhere when you get into Michigan, like House of Dank and all this stuff since it's legal there. But it just, I was never anywhere where there was one of those, and I just don't really like. I'm just not into smoking grass anymore. Not for any reason. Like I never intentionally quit. Like if I'm out riding bikes and someone has a vape pen, I'll hit it. But yeah, it. I have to be too confident to do stuff like this, or to do my videos, or to be a photographer and go to events. Like on Wednesday, I'm shooting at the president of the University of Akron's house. Like, just for me, the way like weed hits me, it's not conducive to any of that. So that's a big reason I don't anymore. Uh, it takes away my self confidence. But if I'm just riding a bike and it's already after dark, definitely hit a vape pen and I feel like I'm flying and it's fun. But yeah. Dirty River. You prefer Kobe's jump cuts on video? Nice. Yeah, Saranac now. You're talking about starting the craft brew. Saranac, I believe, is actually bought out. So we got a wow. So Pudgy, you've been a channel member for 19 months. So that's, I think, how long we've had channel memberships then. So, but I still, they haven't added Stream Elements, hasn't added a way to read out loud the member chats. BP said, we bike to drink beer. Your husband plays adult league ice hockey to drink beer. Side effect is very loud snoring. Yeah. Yeah. Aaron could attest to that, I'm sure. Sam Adams, I don't like their weird beers like cherry wheat and I don't think they make the best hazies, but like if I'm in a gas station and I'm going to get some beer and Boston Lager is the best option, Boston Lager is a super solid lager. Just like Great Lakes has been making their, you know, uh, gold, whatever gold, uh, gold medal. I can't think of the name. Whatever. It's just, it is what it is. When I was in Boston, they had their Sam Adams hazy on tap everywhere. I was going to drink that over a corporate brew. But oh, speaking of that, oh, Sleepy Hollow, you love Rolling Rock? Rolling Rock is like the worst beer. They use that actually in tastings to teach brewers and new beer people like a certain thing that has gone wrong with a beer. Like that certain flavor in Rolling Rock is a characteristic of bad beer. So also there's that great Radio Birdman song. I bought you a 6-pack of Strohs. You never drank it down. You keep drinking Rolling Rock. You know I can't hang around. So, anyways, yeah, let's look at people's. We got a couple of drink picks. Speaking of beers, while we're on the beer subject, what? Oh, and for anyone else new here, this channel started as a beer review channel. Oddly enough, me and my girlfriend at the time, I wanted to learn how to do video, and the idea was we'll review craft beers so I could set up my camera and microphone and learn how to shoot videos. So if you scroll back all the way through the uploads, the beginning of this channel is craft beer reviews. So if you always wonder why I end up nerding out about this stuff, that's part of the history here. So this is what Large Marge was drinking, a Three Floyds Cheer Team Ale. That's actually a Three Floyds I've never had, and I always like Three Floyds beers. And what was Patrick drinking? Odd 13 codename Superfan. Oh, look at me in the background. Yeah, for those you don't know, we're dropping these photos in the Discord, so if you have drink picks to drop, you know. Yeah, the member ones don't get audio. There's no, I just don't have a background code to make that work. BP said Sam Adams Summer Ale Citrus Wheat is hideous. I believe that. Any flavored Sam Adams beer are always awful. They're awful. But their regular lineup, just like Great Lakes, are always solid. They make a good beer. Oh, Patrick, you said it said 13 months before you sent it? Huh. Oh, Dortmunder. Thank you, Muskrat. Dortmunder Gold. Thank you. Croissant Rock. Like I said, I wouldn't not drink a Rolling Rock, but I wouldn't buy a Rolling Rock. So, yeah, Dortmunder Gold is the beer around here that started the craft brew scene in Northeast Ohio. So, I drank a lot. Kevin, I drank a lot of Rolling Rocks when I was young too. But yeah, like I said, someone handed it to me at a party, especially a patio or a backyard party. I'm going to drink it, but I'm not going to buy it. You know, there's always going to be something better than Rolling Rock at a place that sells even Rolling Rock, right? Reefer Road, do you like Newcastle? I have a friend who really likes Newcastle. I haven't had one of those in years, but Taco Bell doing vegan meat. If Taco Bell does vegan meat, it's got to make you as sick as the regular meat or it doesn't count. Oh, Chris, you're drinking Old English? I can't go back to that kind of beer. I do have a limit. Yeah. Malt liquors, I don't think I could do it. Oh, BP, you said you watched the reviews. Yeah, yeah, Laura. We were both just like, but it's funny if you watch the first one where the videography is horrible. It's like funny. I didn't even think about make this connection, but I went to Jolly Pumpkin when I was in Detroit. They're not from Detroit, but they're from Michigan, and they have a tap room in Detroit. The first episode is about Jolly Pumpkin, and we didn't know what sour beers were. And I don't mean the common kettle sours you always see now in a can, Urban Artifact. Nothing wrong with those, but true barrel aged sours where they fermented the beer with uh, different kinds of bacteria and stuff like that to make them true sours. It doesn't mean they taste sour, it just means it's a style of beer. The definition has kind of changed over the last few years. We thought we were buying a Christmas beer that was expensive and it was like a special thing. So we did the first episode about it and we thought it was a beer that had gone bad because we had no frame of reference for something like a Jolly Pumpkin beer. So we had this like $15 beer, which at the time for us was stupid expensive. We had bought the house, we were being cautious, and we splurged on what we thought was a Christmas beer. and we drank a sour and we give it like the worst review ever. So we learned a lot of our stuff by some friends being like, we need to explain something to you about Jolly Pumpkin or whatever it may have been. So, anywho, how did we revert back to all beer? Well, I guess also when we started live streaming in 2020, there was a lot of beer talk because it was uh, the shutdown and all that stuff. So we were sitting here drinking beer, talking to each other. Oh, that sucks, Rick. You said you got an alert that I can never remember how to say that. Schuylkill River Trail here in Philly is temporarily closed due to a body in the river. That sucks. Nathan May said, "PBR if you're broke, banquet if you're ballin'." Me and the old girlfriend, as mentioned, Laura, we used to drink Coors Light all the time. We had a collection of Coors Light pint glasses before we got it. Right before we got into craft beer, that was our like regular beer. Banquet once in a while, but I'm still if I'm getting like an American beer, just a macro beer, it's gonna be PBR. Like I said, that's why not. I didn't even know vegan Pizza Hut. That sounds like diarrhea in a box. BP said mango beers. Iron City has a mango beer. That sounds awful. I can't imagine Iron City's mango beer is drinkable. Pittsburgh has a lot of good breweries too. We've been there a number of times and been to a bunch of Pittsburgh breweries. As Aaron once said, it's a up and coming brewery town, which we never let her forget that phrase she uttered. So, Patrick, you said you can't get Rolling Rock over there. Rolling Rock's owned by one of the two big guys, either Miller Coors or InBev. I can't remember which one. So I'm surprised you can't get it. Can you get the old girlfriend's number? Rick, I do not have it. She does not want to talk to me. Uh, Nothing bad. I still like Laura was awesome. Like I didn't break up with her for any reason that we didn't like each other. It was going our own ways. Yeah, people change a little bit. Oh, Muskrat, you said as for cheap beers, you like Weimer's Grunner from Aldi. I so the girlfriend I had between Laura and Aaron used to shop at Aldi, and she would bring their like faux craft beers. They always cracked me up. Um, I wonder who was brewing those. They're probably just Miller Coors or something, right? But they were always like just very light versions of craft beer, and they were cheap. But Mickey's Big Mouth, Old English is foul. Yeah, Jim Jiminy Biscuit said was my was your girlfriend a bike? King Cobra, man, Pudgy, that was some nasty stuff. King Cobra, yeah, you guys are saying laser. Laser used to be 90 cents for a 40. We used to say, like, if you had $1, you could still get a 40 of laser. And that stuff tasted like piss. Like, yeah, King Cobra was not much of a step up either. That was some garbage beer. Yeah. What's up, Cameron? You said Taco Bell is soy protein, so it's all vegan. Mad Dog 2020. Yeah, I drank some of those. One of my friends who I used to go hiking and ride bikes with a bit, who still lives in the Cuyahoga Valley, Heather, used to get Mad Dog, and we'd mix it with like orange juice. So gross. We go for a hike and drink Mad Dog, like mixing it. Ah. Yeah, Wild Irish Rose is about the same as that. Yeah. Oh yeah, Rolling Rock got bought a long time ago, Kevin. Yeah. Did Kevin say that? Yeah. Rolling Rock got bought out years ago. I'm sure it's all made of corn now. It's fermented corn. So Rick said he guzzled an entire quart of Mad Dog 2020 once and saw God. Yeah. Oh, BP, you watched the Jolly Pumpkin episode. That's funny. See how bad that video is? It's funny to watch those, and I did get better. I didn't get the audio thing and those beer review things till maybe the end, but at least the video quality I started to figure out. I'd bought a Canon 7D and it was the first DSLR I had that could do video. And I'm like, I better learn this. Totally paid off because I had clients who started asking for video. It's always been the YouTube thing for me. Till what? What would it be? Well, you guys said 19 months on the memberships. And so even in 2020, when I started doing this, like trying to put out a video a week, the idea was to up my game again, but actually with high quality audio and video. So yeah, the fact that I have a YouTube channel that you guys are watching is not because I was trying to be good at YouTube. It was because I was trying to be good at my day job. And the cycling thing mixed with the pandemic kind of took off. So I mean, I can't believe we crossed 6,000 subscribers last week while I was in Detroit. I never would have guessed that. During the pandemic, when Terry B started playing my videos on his Members Mondays live stream, and I hit 300 subscribers, I was like, holy shit, like that's insane. Like to have 300 subscribers on YouTube. I thought that was nuts. And it was mostly because, well, some people I still know through here, like Dimitri and a number of you who came over from that channel. So. Oh, Kevin, yeah, Terry B did drink. They were drinking Coors Light the whole tour. Coors Light and the yellow Red Bulls, yeah. Remember how PBR, Rusty asked PBR and Banquet was the same price at Thursdays? I don't. I always got Captain and Cokes at Thursdays. Mixed drinks at Thursdays. How Reefer Road, you're a Thursdays guy too? Yeah, Barb used to make the mixed drinks. It was full of Captain with a tiny bit of Coke and then a lime in the top. I loved it. So, Pudgy. Oh, Rolling Rock is InBev. Yeah, that's not surprising. Blackball. I am not familiar with the Grateful Dead trunk sale beer from the Grateful Dead lot scene in the '80s, but I'll take your word for it. Oh, by the way, Rusty, I stopped in Mr. Zub's to see my buddy Wes yesterday for lunch on my way back from picking up the Gravel Badass t-shirts, actually. And the Thursdays, the neon sign from Thursdays, Reefer Roads, too, is inside Mr. Zub's now. Because same, Mario, his mom and dad own Thursdays. So, according to Google, Rolling Rock was bought by Anheuser-Busch and now brewed in Newark, New Jersey. Crazy Ed's Chili Beer. I am not familiar with that, Patty. I was a YouTube pioneer before there were ads. Yeah. I tried a bunch of stuff on YouTube, but again, it was always in the idea of just trying to better my video game, not have anyone watch my YouTube channel. I never even shared the ones that I did on my own. Like I didn't share them on anything. So Pudgy, I drank a half gallon of jug of Carlo Rossi Merlot and shit in someone's bathtub, then peed on a cop car. Kevin said used to smuggle the Mad Dog bottles into the punk shows. Yeah, they made them like flasks. They have that real flat shape. So yeah, they're perfect for it. Oh yeah, we haven't even done a break yet. Maybe I'll do, what time is it? Because I'm not going to stay on too long tonight, so maybe I'll do a break and do one more beer before we sign off. Yeah, just got a lot of many leather-bound books. Yeah, a lot of stuff. Reefer Road, you met your third wife at Thursdays. BP, thanks. I appreciate that. You said there are a ton of Gap videos. But yeah, there's a million Gap videos out there. Great Allegheny Passage. But mine are, oh, because I'm so well spoken. Well, thanks. I appreciate that. And again, it's because I don't use jump cuts. When I mess up, I fix it. So, you out, Rusty? All right. Rusty, if I don't get to see you before, I'll see you in the cyclocross season out there with the Joy Machines races. What are you guys doing on Saturday? Oh, I might be in Cleveland on Saturday. I'm not going to stay on late tonight, so that was a lie. Well, like always. Oh, Raymond dropped a beer pick while we What is this one? Look at this graphic. Fifth Hammer Brewing Co. That is quite the oh, India Pale Ale. Did he give us a description? You have to let us know what that is, Raymond, if you're still hanging around. All right, see you later, BP. Have a good night. Oh, you guys are all mountain biking at Bailey's on Saturday. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I want to go up and meet Eric in Cleveland. He said might go to the Browns game, but spread lemur. Oh, that makes sense. On the beer. It's after 10, Rick. We're all good. All right, yeah, we'll do a break. Oh, yeah, and it's, again, don't have the new members video, but mainly because the hard drive that I use the portable hard drive to run the stream off of down here, I took on the trip, so I don't have all the videos on it. But so we'll just use the piddle break video. But yeah, grab another beer, come back. One thing to ponder over the yeah, all right, Cameron. Oh yeah, one thing to ponder is: are you guys, anyone who's in, this kind of region, starting to get nervous about the end of the summer? I try not to let it affect me, but already today on my way home from my ride, seeing like some of the leaves on the trail, and it got chillier, and I actually threw on the windbreaker. I love fall; it's actually my favorite season, but I also just hate the fading of summer because I know what comes after it. So I don't know, something that popped in my heads today. So I've never heard spoken and token. I like that. Someone needs to make a shirt about that. All right, let's do the piddle break, grab a beer, and maybe we'll actually talk about bikes. Anyone want to talk about bikes tonight? Patch, oh, you're in the desert. You're done with summer. Whoops, sorry. The beers were upstairs. And I was going to say, why did I make that pedal break video so short? But the reason is because those After Effects graphics nearly blew up this computer. So when I was rendering it, but yeah, you guys are talking about Nutmeg. Yeah, that is one thing that's exciting on my calendar. I hope, like I said, that we don't have any problem getting in and that they have it awesome. But um, yeah, I'm excited for some fall stuff, and I do have Nutmeg blocked off for the dates on my calendar out in Connecticut. But still, October 22nd could be cold. I hope we get lucky with the weather like we did last year. Blackball, you said that video reminds you of the dark days of quarantine. Yeah. Oh, Dylan, I don't know. Yeah, have you never seen that video? That usually came on usually after you're already out. We've already done the members break. It's hour 3. I'm slurring my words, ready to pass out. Large is texting my phone to abort the stream because I'm just staring off in the distance. So that's usually where that video comes in. But yeah, it's an After Effects template. So just thought it was hilarious to be so ridiculous and over the top. I think I was picturing Pixel Wolf when I made that. I thought he would think that's pretty funny. So see you, Reefer Roads. If you guys don't know, Reefer Roads has a channel, and he does a lot of cycling and similar stuff to I do. He's more out that'd be East Wadsworth area, right? So. Oh yeah, Nathan, 90s picture day at school for sure. Cameron, you said you think he just had a seizure from that video? Yeah. Back when Pixel Wolf was just Danny? Yeah. For sure. Him and Robin were just riding together. What? I think I saw some of those posts when I was in Detroit. So, if you guys don't know, Pixel Wolf designed the logo for this channel. The character of me with the beard holding the camera and the handlebar and the beer. So, and he's in Minneapolis, as we were talking about earlier. Him and Robin, who are two people I also know through Terry B's channel. So. Robin did an amazing trip out in California. What, about a month ago, maybe? His Instagram was really fun to follow out there. And he's I don't know if he ever did it professionally, but Robin is a pretty good photographer too. Should we see? I think there was a couple bike pics from this week. Obviously, the bike pics go way back because oh, here's the other side of the beer we were looking at from Raymond. Solar Lemur. I think Reefer Roads' channel name is just Reefer Roads. It should come up here if I search it. I'll drop a link here. Yeah, here we go. Some of you found it. I just watched his subscriber count jump before our eyes. That's awesome. Oh, I hit Control C, not Control V. Come on, can you just give me the name? Hang on. Whatever, it's not giving me the short version of it, but there we go. I think I might be a couple behind on his, but I saw. Yeah, I am. Oh yeah, that's right. He hurt himself. I am. I'm like 3 videos behind on him. So anyway, where was I going with my thoughts? Rick, you said you're starting a new trend: double panniers. They're attached in the middle like cowboy saddle. We should do crappy 90s pictures. I did. My buddy Chris, who I was with in Detroit in 2015, sent his son over here for his senior pictures, and he had me edit that laser background into them, and those are the ones he posted all over Facebook and anything. It was and everything. It was hilarious. Like literally, I pulled that. I found it online somewhere and pulled that 80s background and made his son's senior pictures look like those 80s photos. His mom was um, the kid's mom was a little less happy about him, so I sent her some very normal ones. But yeah, yeah. Nutmeg is October 22nd. Otis. I think this year we are talking about maybe doing something in the build up to Nutmeg. Well, I think we were talking about staying in Albany on the way instead of we did Syracuse last year, but because none of us have ever been to Albany to mix it up, so. Rick said he thinks it would be hilarious if Free for Roads got lost on every ride. What were you saying, Pudgy? Too, you need to drop a photo though, but you're going double basket, basket in the front and basket in the back. Oh, you're saying it's like my at the beginning of the stream, like my double Swift Zeitgeist. But now I'm actually when I ride the Marin basket in the front, Carrot Ice style in the back. Oh, Patrick, nice. You're drinking Cascade Range Broken Top Mountain Whiskey from Sisters, Oregon. You said your friend brought that back for watching their house. Nice. I'm trying to think. When we were in Louisville doing the show, um, we drank a lot of bourbon, obviously. But on this trip, I drank, I think, no, my buddy Wes brought a small bottle of, what was it, Angel's Envy, maybe? That he had bought in Louisville to share with us, like a tiny little bottle. So I did have a couple nips of bourbon, but in general, I think when we were out, I drank all beer on this trip. I don't even think I had it. Yeah, no cocktails. Yeah, all craft beer. So Albanese nuts. Skip right over Utica. Utica, Utica. These. Yeah, I have never been to Utica, but we were talking too. So I was talking about the Michigan trip. Next year, we are talking about possibly doing um, more of the Empire Trail, more of the Erie Canal Trail. So if that was the case, we would definitely be in Utica next summer. So Nutmeg, Jason is a if you know Ronnie Romance, that's kind of one of his names, or Ultra Romance, or Ultra Dynamico Tires, a tire brand. He hosts a ride in Connecticut, multiple rides, like multiple lengths, and it's like non-competitive. It's just a bike ride and camping. And last year it was at Cold Spring Farm in Connecticut. He hasn't said what it'll be this year, but it was basically just he called it the what non-competitive alt cycling world championships, it was just like an awesome gathering of cool people. There were speeches by or speeches like little talks like Joe Cruz, who writes for bikepacking.com, was there talking. Uh, we got to meet Jeffrey Frayne, who runs Wild Bikes, who started All City and stuff like that. So, yeah, just kind of a cool gathering, camping and bike riding in Nutmeg Country is what they call that part of Connecticut, I guess. So, yeah, just an awesome, like, cool, friendly weekend. So something a lot of us who went, me, Pudgy, Large, Aaron, Funny Brad, and then I met a bunch of people or a number of people who knew the channel and stuff like that as well. So yeah, something where so I'm saving the date. Ronnie Romance, whatever, has said the day will be October 22nd, but he hasn't given any details out yet. So uh, yeah, Pudgy, hit up Yellowbird, be like, give us the scoop, man. What's happening? Stephanie Stefford, you said you got drunk and rode a bike before. You needed 4 stitches and lost a tooth. Yeah, it takes practice. So just get back out there. Drinking and riding a bike is like riding a bike. So, oh, Pudgy, you have to wait till they have enough fabric to make your bag. Dark Realm. Yeah, yeah. Nutmeg Nor'easter is the full name. That's right. I doesn't he have like a primitive website for the original one up there still, or is Ronnie's Bags his main website? Um, let me see. Googling Ronnie's Bags doesn't work. Put in bikes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so this, let me move my face out of the way. Yeah, also some cool like caps and other cycling accessories. They make cool bags. Uh, I could drop a link to Ron's bikes. So check this out if you're interested. I think he has an email list where the information comes out first. But now they make all their own stuff there in Connecticut, which is kind of cool. I think originally, weren't we talking Swift used to make their stuff? But oh, I have one of these hats on the way, by the way. The dark ones. Funny Brad ordered it for me because he just Fenro requested me for the money with the name. So caps. Did I say hats? Damn it. Oh, there's Nutmeg. So okay, so the information is about 2022 still. So not updated. Oh yeah, I could show the video of what it looked like last year. Good idea, Pudgy. Oh, it is 2022. Fine. uh, you guys are so on top of things. Anyways, that link is a video to 2021's Nutmeg Nor'easter. Uh, so yeah. Now I'm going to read what the website actually says about 2022. Planned for October 22nd here at the bottom of the Connecticut River Valley. We have a lot on our plates right now, but we'll start organizing in the coming month. Look for registration sometime in August. All right. So, yeah, so we're at the end of August and nothing is up. So we'll see. Hopefully soon. They're a tiny company. There's like, I think it's just him and Aria, right? Him and his girlfriend. So. Sleepy Howard, you said Buffalo to Utica is like 230 miles. So we would be, we've done Buffalo to Rochester. So I think if we did the Empire Trail again, we'd be looking to probably go Rochester towards New York. I would like to go to New York City. So yeah. So it's not crazy that we wouldn't be going through Utica. And it would be, we usually do about 400 miles on our summer tours. So let me go back. I missed a bunch of comments. So I'm going to jump back up before the nutmeg stuff happened, anyways. Oh, Sleepy Hollow, you're doing the Empire Trail in 2 weeks. Nice. Stephanie, I don't know where you are, but if you're on Facebook, check your local area for Facebook groups. I've talked to a bunch of people about that who have found like the right thing. Other people, you show up for a ride and it sucks. It turned out to be like maybe roadies and you're not into that. But at least look around to try and meet people to ride with. Yeah. I would look up local group rides. If there's like chill rides, like we have Akron Bike Party, Cleveland has Critical Mass and Slow Roll. Those are the ways to go out and try and find people you can meet to ride with, hopefully. Oh, Blackball. So the stipulation to get into Nutmeg, no. Last year, I think they limited it at 420 riders, if I'm correct, if right, Pudgy. But it got a lot of coverage in the gravel, all road, alt cycling community last year, and I'm just wondering if it's going to be a thing that sells out really quick. So, no, there won't be any stipulation to get a Nutmeg. I just wonder if there's going to be a lot of demand for a small amount of tickets. Like that's my only thing. So Patrick said, once you learn to bike and drink, you never forget. But like you said, Stephanie, loose gravel will get you even if you're not drinking. So, oh, really? Large said, speaking of Ron, Whiskerton Aaron just picked up a Disc Romancer frame. Large, weren't you just telling me that that's a frame you would be interested in? Like we were just talking about like buying another bike for some reason. That's a bike you like a lot. Do I not have volume on? I didn't get to hear that. Did you guys hear that? Does that subscribe thing? I might have turned off the audio for subscribers because we were getting them all coming through last week when that other video was, or 2 weeks ago when that other video was blowing up. So, oh, Dirty River, you said you really want to do the Romancer friction shifting and with 26 inches? Do they? Can you set that up with 26-inch wheels? Lanky said roadies are the effing worst to ride with. What's up, Lanky? Yeah, bike shop too, Rick. That's a great idea. Yeah. If you have a bike shop you like, or if you haven't looked into all the area bike shops, they might be doing a group ride. So, Cameron asked if cyclists have road names like hikers have trail names. Um, I don't think so. I mean, nicknames always develop. Well, one here on here we call people by their YouTube screen names, but in general, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if there's other like in my cycling group, like might be a couple, but I don't think it's the same as like a trail name type thing where you take that on over a trip. So most of the nicknames that people have developed in my group have come from the YouTube stuff. So oh, Pudgy, you said the disc romancer could be set up with any wheel size provided the cranks don't hit the ground. Yeah. Yeah, because I think Otis was telling me, Dirty River was telling me even when, because my Raleigh, my gravel bike was his, that he had it set up with 650Bs once, but the cranks came real close to the ground. So yeah, that'd be a thing. So, oh, 26 is how it was designed originally. All right. You could, Cameron, you can't give yourself a nickname. That's not a nickname. Like people have to give you a nickname. You know. Oh, Stephanie, you're in the Youngstown area. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. Huh. I'm actually not familiar with anything out there. I know there's those good trails around Warren that we've ridden before when we go to Modern Methods. You might be moving to Niles. Oh, nice. Yeah. I yeah, my buddy Eric who was in here earlier, like I know a lot of the Youngstown region because we used to go out there and hang out all the time. Funny Brad's trail name is Coffee too soon. Until that wouldn't be Funny Brad. Yeah, Sprinkles is Mr. Sprinkles is also yeah, Mr. Sprinkles is Funny Brad's other nickname. No, because he's not funny. Funny Brad really appreciates the Funny Brad nickname, by the way. He brings it up sometimes. He's like, hey, I'm Funny Brad. So what I say is funny. But yeah, I don't know any. I'm trying to think, Stephanie. I don't know the bike shops in the Youngstown area, which is surprising. But I guess just when I was spending a lot of time out there, we weren't cycling. I was in a band still, and we were just like going to bars and playing rock and roll. So yeah, the more I think, I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just thinking about Youngstown, and I'm surprised that I know nothing of the cycling in Youngstown. I mean, it's only, I mean, it's 45 minutes from here. You know, that's where I picked up Eric on the way to go ride with Rick in Philly. So, Jay Dandy, you have to put the exclamation point first. Bunny Fred. Oh, Thumbs and Warren. Yeah, we were on when we rode through Warren. It was Labor Day, so it wasn't open. But we saw that shop. Yeah, yeah, because we went into we stopped at Modern Methods and then went up to was that Pima Tuning on that trip when we went to Warren? Large will remember. I never remember anything. So yeah, let's see if our little robot works today. Jay Dandy still thinks he's on a typewriter watching TV. Yeah, even if the shop doesn't host group rides, the kind of ride you're looking for, they might know people who are into it. Good call, Nathan. Yeah, yeah, let's look up. We'll give Jay Dandy a throw Jay Dandy a bone here. I have it on bike directions. Yeah, just for anyone not familiar, like Youngstown's not far from here at all. So I have it on bike directions, and it's saying 55-mile bike ride. So oh, so Warren is yeah, Warren's right about here. Yeah, so we could ride the Freedom Trail and all that stuff out to Warren, and then there's a bike trail that goes up past. Mosquito Lake. Oh yeah, and then Pymatuning is where we have uh, camped, but we stayed way up on the other side in Pennsylvania. This is actually the state borders on this lake. Oh yeah, we rode this spillway right here, which was kind of cool. And it looked like they were putting in a bike trail when we were there. It was like some of it was gravel, but oh yeah, a lot of the neighborhoods of Youngstown are small towns outside. I've been to Canfield, been to Poland, Struthers for sure, downtown Youngstown a million times. But plus, when Eric was the drummer in our band, he lived in Youngstown, so we made that drive once a week. He came over here to practice on Tuesdays, and we drove out there on Thursdays. So, whoops. Jay Dandy, you've been to the Western Reserve Greenway Trail a bunch of times. Yeah. Oh, nice, Stephanie. You said you rode to Ashtabula. Yeah. So, genuine article. One of our Micah Kraus, one of our buddies, his family's from Conneaut, so we've ridden that all the way up to Ashtabula, and then you break off on whatever um, road goes out by the lake. So yeah, from Ashtabula to Conneaut, what did we take? Was it 531? That looks like it was a pretty busy road, so it could be. I guess it would have been 531 out to Conneaut. Conneaut Township Park, by the way, is beautiful. Like it has this huge bluff that overlooks the lake. So if you guys weren't following me back when I posted those videos, we ate at one of these two places. Maybe it was this Breakwall Barbecue, big outdoor patio, probably. Yeah, I think this was it. So Ashtabula is kind of cool too. We stopped there at the coffee shop, I believe. That's the last time I had sciatica really bad, and I remember stopping in there and dying on 531 on the way back, and popping in Ashtabula and trying to get some food in me so I could eat some more Advils. But oh, so the Western Reserve Greenway is around here, right? Because don't you go right through Austinburg? Yeah, Western Reserve Greenway. It's a very straight and flat trail. Pudgy, you would love it. Definitely rail trail-ish. Where am I? Where am I in the comments? Jane Dandy a boner. There's a fast road group in Warren. Hmm. Yeah, every Sunday, Stephanie, you're not that far. Yeah, Otis Dirty River. They host it. They ride at 10 o'clock every Sunday morning. So, all right, Dylan. We'll see you later. Oh yeah, everyone told me about that Ashtabula, like the carp thing. No, that's Pymatuning. The carp thing is at Pymatuning, where off the causeway you throw like it gets crazy. They all jump out, and I don't know. Yeah, everyone who saw us that we went to Pymatuning talked about the carp and did we see the carp and the carp this and the carp that. Wait, Oh, they were supposed to finish the Freedom Trail all the way through to Youngstown. Yeah, because the tracks would be there, right? I mean, it's a rail trail, so. Duder rides. Yeah, he's somewhere on the lake. No, he's the other way. Mike Howland. He is. No, he's. I think Pudgy that. I think Mike Howland is more in the Vermilion area. So we were looking way up here towards like Ashtabula and even out towards Erie, and I think he's more between like Sandusky and Cleveland. But right? I think so. He hasn't been in the live streams for a while, but Rick, you told your chiropractor about my experiment where I wasn't going to try using a chiropractor, and you guys laughed and laughed. Well, we'll see. Um, if I get healed at the same amount of time as when I went to the chiropractor, then you could laugh and laugh, and it turns out that uh, you're wasting your money. So we'll see. Hey, what's up, Chris Alto? Yeah, the Western Reserve Greenway is pretty boring. But again, you know, if you're riding it alone, it's going to be boring. If you're riding it with your friends and having a conversation, then it is, you're not in traffic. So, yeah, the carp, Stephanie, yeah, the carp are legendary. Everyone talks about it. Legendary carp sounds like an early 90s band. I just watched, do you guys know Tom Scott on YouTube? He's a British dude. It's general interest stuff, just kind of like, I, what is his channel called? It's just he goes to places and talks about something unique about a place. But he was on the that canal in Chicago that they have electrified, where they're trying to keep the Asian carp out of the Great Lakes because they'll destroy everything in the Great Lakes, like the fishing industry and the pleasure boating industry, because the carp jump. If you don't know, so if you're a boater, they jump and they'll knock people out. They'll knock people off the boats. They're horrible. They have no natural predators, and so they have these like this series of like electrified water in the canal. A lot of people have been suing this area to just shut the canal down because it's man-made, because it's so dire the situation if they do get into the Great Lakes. But yeah, yeah, the carp have ruined everything they're in. They just eat everything and they become totally dominant. Oh, Chris, nice. You said you completed your first century in 6 hours the other weekend, then did a gravel century Saturday. Nice. Rick, I think you would know Duda Rides. That's his name on Instagram, I believe, but here on the channel he uses his regular name of Mike Howland. So just an Ohioan that I've met through social media and stuff like that. But I've never met him in person yet. He's the one who sent me the Velo Orange bars and stem. I'm not using the stem now, but that I have on the Marin. So I've definitely shouted him out when I was building up the Marin. So wrapping it up early. It's not 11, is it yet? 10:58. I got 2 minutes and we're wrapping it up. We got in the maps, Jay Dandy. You can't complain about that. Are you sure, Dimitri, that carp made it into Ontario Asian carp? Because I mean, they're still doing a huge. Because once they're in one of the Great Lakes, they're in all of them. There's no way to stop that. As you can see, they're all trying to think of where the canal is that they're trying to. The pinch point. I thought it was near Chicago, right? But it's like it's outside Chicago, I believe. Let's see what the name of this is. Uh, the Plan River. However, they probably don't say it with a French accent. No, because if they're in Ontario, that's the Niagara River. There'd be no way to keep them out of Erie or anything. There might be a kind of carp, but I don't believe it's a. I don't believe there are Asian carp in Ontario. But yeah, Chris is a gravel badass. That's for sure. Yeah, and there's been a lot of very detrimental from the Chinese ships and the like Chinese like from getting stuff shipped from China in the Great Lakes. Like zebra mussels have been horrible, like on the all the rocks and stuff. My brother actually was doing a triathlon, got too close to the rocks and tried to push himself away and sliced his hand open on zebra mussels. Uh, oh, Pudgy, you just said the same thing. Yeah, zebra mussels have been a problem for a long time. Well, yeah, when was my brother doing triathletes? I remember he was riding a carbon lugged, um, carbon tube aluminum lugged Trek back then. So it's been a while. There's a great picture of him though. He was going in transition, uh, getting out of the water, heading to his bike. He just got blood all over him. It's yeah, Dimitri, same. I just see it pop up just being on the Great Lakes, being a native or from Cleveland originally. I pay attention. So yeah, walleye in Ohio, perch. I think perch are what they mostly serve at restaurants, right? But people sports fish walleye. I didn't know this, but they actually. Do you know they seed the? Is that the right term? They like the fishing in the Great Lakes is not like natural. They actually like is seed the word? That's like you seed clouds. What do you do? Stock. Stock's the right word. They stock Lake Erie for sports fishing. So they like dump, walleye eggs all in Lake Erie to uh, keep the sports fishing industry going. So I didn't realize that. I assumed it was all natural occurring, but it's not. Uh, gobies are invasive species too. Lanky, that's what you get for doing a triathlon. Oh man, our ecosystem is effed, Nathan. Yeah, I mean, and again, like the walleye are the Asian carp were brought in originally in a couple lakes to I can't even remember. It was so they would eat up something else and manage it. But then, of course, they jumped from lake to lake and river system to river system, and they were out of our control. Just like the um, what is that they have to worry about in the south? Those super violent little pigs that run around. But yeah, we've done it with a million invasive species where we've brought something in and planted it because it looked good in a garden and taken over. The garlic mustard in the Cuyahoga Valley, that is just like wiping out invasive plants because it grows so fast. But sometimes you wonder, like, is it a waste of time trying to correct any of this anymore? But, you Chris said walleye is great eating, purchased for mini fry fillets. Crappie, if that's how you pronounce it, is good too. Yeah, yeah, when I'm on Lake Erie, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll a lot of times get like the perch meal if it's locally caught. So, Cameron, that's pretty good. Oh, lionfish. I ate a lionfish for lunch when I was in Puerto Rico. I wonder if I have a photo of that. It was a really cool restaurant up on a hill. I don't have a picture of the lionfish, but I do have a picture of the view from the restaurant I ate it at. So. I was in Puerto Rico with the girlfriend I started this channel with. Oh yeah, that was there. Yeah. Oh yeah, our Airbnb or whatever it was called at the time had a bunch of cats, which was awesome because I love cats. Anywho. All right, Dimitri, see you later. Tuna cheeks. All right, Black Ball, you're out. I think we should all get out. Yeah, let's wrap it up for tonight. Thursday, I'm not sure about. Probably stream. I don't know. Just see how the week goes. I'll let everyone know in the Discord if you're on there. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to post that link to the video I made with Kyle and City of Akron's planning director tomorrow for the members. That'll be a video that'll be out eventually for everybody. But do a sneak peek and get some opinions just like I did with the Gravel Badass series from the members first. Thursday, have the Towpath 50 video, which leads into Detroit. And my goal then is to put part 2 of Detroit on Saturday. Haven't even looked at all that footage yet, so I don't know if there'll be 3 Detroit videos or not. And then the Gravel Badass video with our friend Bronlin, which we recorded before I went to Detroit, will be out next week on one of the days. Not sure yet. But I am traveling one more time with this company, and that's on September 6th through the 10th. And there'll be no chance of streaming because we're going to be driving Route 66. So I'll be in a follow car, whole thing. I'll show you guys all about it. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Excited for it. I won't get to ride bikes at all. That's the only negative thing. So, all right, guys. Yeah, everyone get out and ride. It's only going to get colder from here on out. Well, if you're not in the desert. So, all right, Otis. Dirty River, the sponsor of the Gravel Badass series. So, all right, guys. Have a great night. And I don't have a closing. I've never had a closing line. How do I usually end this? Oh, yeah, peace.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is what I was
Fitzwater photo.
Brett Mason subscribed to the channel. Sam Richards subscribed to the channel.